In this video, we're going to discuss the 5 rules of engagement. This video will explain how and when to use jiu-jitsu in bully situations. Because one of the rules makes reference to the 3 T-steps, let's cover that information first. The 3 T-steps describe what we should do when verbally attacked, and the 3 T-steps are talk, tell, and tackle. First, talk. Talk refers to talking to the bully ourselves. If somebody verbally attacks me, I should be able first to respond to them myself. The response I recommend is short and simple, and the words are, "Please leave me alone." These words should be spoken clearly and calmly, and not asked as a question, spoken with emotion like sadness or desperation, and they should not be made menacingly like a threat. As an example, saying "please leave me alone" as a question might sound like, "Please leave me alone." An example of "please leave me alone" spoken with a sad or desperate emotion might be, "Please leave me alone." An example of using these words as a threat might be pointing in someone's face and saying, "Leave me alone." The proper way to say them is as plainly as you might say the sky is blue, "Please leave me alone." When you talk to the bully, you want to maintain eye contact and you want to be still. It's very hard to control this, but you don't want to be fidgeting and you do want to look somebody right in the eye. If you turn your eyes away or look down when you say the words, you may be showing weakness in a way that the bully wants, and the verbal attacks may continue. The second T is tell. Tell refers to finding somebody else with authority who can help you with your situation. Tell a teacher, tell a parent, and ultimately, over the long term, if verbal abuse continues, you want to make sure that your principal hears about it. This is very important, and we'll talk about why in a minute. The third T is tackle, and the first way we tackle a bully is by using verbal jiu-jitsu. Verbal jiu-jitsu, in most cases, should be all you need, but of course, your jiu-jitsu is there to defend yourself if you are attacked. Tackle does not mean initiate physical violence. Tackle should only happen after you have talked to the bully and told authority figures who might reach out to the bully or the bully's parents. And tackle shouldn't happen the first time somebody says something mean. It should be a response to persistent verbal abuse that continues, maybe behind the adults' backs, and with no end in sight. It's simply time to stand up for yourself. Before going into how to use verbal jiu-jitsu and physical jiu-jitsu in a bully situation, let me ask you a quick question. Do bullies want to fight? In most cases, absolutely not. Bullies toss mean comments your way because it is easy and to get a reaction out of you. If a bully wanted to fight you physically, they would grab you or fight you physically, not just hurl insults. Most people don't want to fight, and bullies are no different. If you think about who a bully might choose to pick on, that person is usually smaller than them and not a physical threat. This is evidence that bullies are not looking to fight. They are just looking to use their words to get a reaction that makes them feel powerful. Let's talk about how to use verbal jiu-jitsu. Verbal jiu-jitsu is the way that you will speak to a bully when it is time for you to stand up for yourself and you are finally calling them out. The words you will use are you challenging me to a fight?" The goal of these words is not to fight, but to show that you are not scared. If a bully replies, "Yes, I am challenging you to a fight," you can let them know, "I'm not scared and I'm ready," and you can prepare to use your jiu-jitsu if they attack you. It's very likely that even if they say yes, nothing happens. Again, because most bullies are not looking for a fight. If a bully replies, "No, I'm not challenging you to a fight," your reply to them is simple. "Then please leave me alone and stop wasting my time." A bully may say yes and follow up with a physical attack, in which case you need to use your jiu-jitsu. But if they say yes and do nothing, or if they say something other than yes or no, your response is simple again. If you want to, I'm not scared of you, but if not, please leave me alone and stop wasting my time. Again, this should always be spoken with eye contact, without fidgeting, and with some confidence and calmness. Now, as regards physical jiu-jitsu, you should only ever become physical if a bully becomes physically aggressive to you. At that point, don't hurt them at all. We control our bully and we negotiate. The negotiation that you will be making is, are you going to leave me alone? An example of this would be a bully tries to throw a punch at you, but you use your jujitsu to take them down and get a dominant control position like mount or side mount. When the bully can't move and can't hurt you, you can start negotiating and saying, are you going to leave me alone? They will have no choice but to say yes for you to let them up. Now that we've talked about the 3 T's, let's look at the 5 rules of engagement. Rule number 1, avoid a fight at all costs. None of us are looking to go use our jujitsu in a fight. Jujitsu, for the most part, should be giving you the confidence to stand up for yourself so you never have to use it. Rule number 2, if physically attacked, you must defend yourself. As your coach, I want you to know that you have my total support to use your jujitsu for real on a real-life bully if they physically attack you. Always in self-defense, but always allowed when you are defending yourself. By doing so, you will probably protect yourself and prevent the other person from getting hurt. The control that jujitsu has taught you to establish on another person will keep everyone safer, and the time to use it is when a physical altercation starts. Rule number 3, if verbally attacked, follow the 3 T steps, and those we just discussed a moment ago. Rule number 4, never punch or kick. Establish control and negotiate. Punching and kicking leads to injury, sometimes the other person's, sometimes your own. The bones in your fist are small and easily breakable, and skulls, were you to punch somebody in the head, are very hard. It's extremely common in a fight for someone to break their hand punching another person. I don't teach you to punch on purpose. We want to establish control over another person's body to prevent any punching or kicking from going on in either direction. Rule number 5, when applying submissions, use minimal force and negotiate. In jiu-jitsu class, you will learn submissions. Submissions like the guillotine, or arm bars, or the Americana, or the triangle. And these are okay in a fight situation to put on, but since you will be the one person in that fight that knows exactly what's going on, it's up to you to use that power responsibly. If you were to hold somebody's arm in an arm bar, not yet fully extended, they would know they were in trouble, even if they don't know jiu-jitsu. They can feel you pulling their arm away from their body, and it makes them want to quit. This is the perfect time to say to them, are you going to leave me alone? If they say no, you can apply a little bit of pressure to their arm, and they will realize right away, this could be very bad for me. And that's when they will say, okay, I'll leave you alone. When someone says, I will leave you alone, we have to take them at their word, and they are probably so embarrassed by the entire situation that they will walk off and sulk and not re-engage you physically. If they do, again, you have your jiu-jitsu to establish control and negotiate once again. If a physical altercation happens in a school setting, you can bet that you will end up in the principal's office. Most schools have a zero-tolerance policy when it comes to violence, so there is a good chance that both students will be suspended. But if you have followed the 3 T's, and if you had followed the 5 rules of engagement, you can explain yourself. You can explain that, look, I spoke to Johnny, he would not stop. I spoke to my teacher, I spoke to my parents, and my parents called you, Mr. Principal, and the principal will remember that you had spoken to him earlier. So the principal will know of the issue already, and they will know why it led to this point. You can explain, I did not want to hurt anyone, and I did not punch or kick Johnny. I only defended myself because if you remember, you were defending yourself when they attacked you. And all you did was establish control and negotiate. You asked that the bullying stop. While you might receive a suspension, you can know, and everyone in the room will know, you did do the right thing. You stood up for yourself, you stopped the violence from happening, you established control in a way that nobody got hurt, and all you did was negotiate for the bullying to finally stop. This is my goal for you as my student and somebody who I am teaching jiu-jitsu, and hopefully you will never have to use it. But in the case that you need to, it's very important that you follow the 3 T steps and the 5 rules of engagement. I would be absolutely proud of how you handled yourself in that situation if that's what you do. So again, here are the 5 rules of engagement. 1. Avoid a fight at all costs. 2. If physically attacked, you must defend yourself. 3. If verbally attacked, follow the 3 T steps. 4. Never punch, or kick. Establish control and negotiate. And 5. When applying submissions, apply minimal force and negotiate.